Hey everybody, it's Romania Black. We're finally reviewing episode 12 of volume 8. I have been away from my computer the last 4 days and I have avoided as many spoilers as I can as soon as Saturday hit. And my brother was texting me constantly, was like, "Have you seen episode 12 of RWBY?" I'm like, "I'm not near a computer. I can't react to it." And he's like, "You need to see it. Things happen." And I was like, "Just spoil me." And so he was like, "But," and I was like, "No." He's like, "Well, things happen." And I was like, "Okay." And I'm not surprised because usually with RWBY, the formula has been that when we have a season, the final episode of the volume with RWBY is usually like a aftermath analysis episode where everybody kind of we find out the aftermath of a big event that's happened in episodes prior, and it always sets stuff up for the new volume. So the last episode of the series, in this case with volume 8, episode 14, I predict that it's going to be like either a transitional episode if we stay in Atlas for volume 9, or it'll be like an aftermath of a big event that happens in this episode and the next one, and it'll kind of be that aftermath and set things up for the next volume. Maybe we'll see previews of Tyrion and Mercury and Vacuo. I don't know. But in any case, I'm not surprised that things are happening in episode 12 because we have 12, 13, and 14. And last episode was good. There was a lot of character development. Our characters have got back on track. They've had things. Basically, last episode was sorting things out. Our characters have been through a mess this volume, and so Rin and Nora kind of reconnected and got to settle their issue. Ruby and Yang reconnected and settled their issues. Ruby, Yang, and Blake are, nuzzling noses. It's all good. And Salem's still gone, which is great because we need to deal with Ironwood. We don't need Salem right now. We need to get Ironwood taken care of, and he is off the deep end. So I don't know what's going to happen this episode. I kind of have some expectations. I want to say, because now it's clear that Marrow has defected from the Aesops. Marrow is out, and Winter has taken him away. I still think Winter will be a neutral party because she wants to keep her sister safe, and she still wants to stay close to Ironwood, not only for the sake of Atlas, but she, I think, is beginning to understand that Ironwood's unhinged, and since she is still his right-hand person and one of the only people he can still trust, supposedly, I think that she's going to stay with him. But I could totally see Marrow going with Crow and Robin, and Marrow's semblance would be very handy. I can't imagine Marrow's semblance getting negatively affected too much by Crow's semblance, which would be good. So I could totally see it end up being an Aesop's versus the Robin Hood tag team of Crow, Robin, and Marrow versus Elm, Vine, and Harriet. I could totally see that. I would like to see that matchup, that 3-on-3. I don't know if it'll happen this volume, but I'm guessing that Crow and Robin stumble into Winter and Marrow in the elevator. That's what I'm guessing. I could be wrong, but that's my hunch. And so Ruby's taking them all to the vault. And that's conveniently where Cinder, Watts, and Neo are supposedly going. So all our paths are converging just in time for episodes 13 and 14 after this. So I don't know. It's 18 minutes. It's a little bit shorter, this episode is, than the last two. So I'm wondering if this episode is going to set up a big thing that episode 13 is going to take. Usually the penultimate episode in RWBY is where shit goes down. And I'm ready for it. So I hope y'all are too. But in any case, I'm finally home. I'm ready to react, to record some things, and we're going to start it off with RWBY. So I'm super excited. But in any case, I hope you all enjoy the episode. Please feel free to comment down below. And we're going to start this bad boy here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Y'all. Oh, there's so much that happened in that episode, but yet like a lot of major plot things happened, but it went by really, really quickly. The whole battle with Ironwood right off the bat, like, I guess if you're gonna fight Ironwood, do like an 8-on-1 because Ironwood's so buff and strong that 8 people on one. Do it. Okay, that was great. I loved that. And Winter using that cool like semblance like thing with the glyph at the end, and I like that it's her that's the one that takes him down. It's like I was a little disappointed that we didn't see Crow and Robin and the Aesops go all out. because I called it, and I usually never call things with shows. Usually my theories don't add up to anything, but it actually added up. And I was like, oh, cool, Marrow's with Crow and Robin. And it was so short. I was like, dang it. So I don't know if next episode, maybe they're going to fight before they all leave Atlas. Maybe there'll be something with that. I really wanted more with them. But, oh, that was so good. We got to backtrack and see everything. The Emerald reveal, that was so good. And then Ambrosius. Ambrosius, the relic of creation. Ambrosius's abilities, I like that that's the monkey's paw. You can ask him to create anything for you, but it has to specifically say what happens. You have to be very specific in how you design and create things. Like you have to give him a blueprint, and that's all very good. And of course, you have Oscar and Oz, and you have Winter, and they've got these schematics all together as they're going, which is, it's a little convenient for the plot, I would say, to have all that planned out, perhaps. I mean, the Penny schematics make a lot of sense. Like, they already would have had those on hand from Pietro, which I'm so curious what Pietro's going to think when he sees Penny being a real girl. I want that reunion, like, now. But here's the thing, the whole portal thing between Atlas and Mantle and Vacuo, there's some problems with that in how they designed it, because I'm guessing that he was like, don't fall. I'm guessing he's like, none of you all said what happens if you don't stay on the path, that you fall to your death. I'm sure like you fall into never-ending limbo. I'm guessing that ominous foreshadowing is going to be that someone from our crew falls. Either Cinder, or it'd be so appropriate if it was Cinder. It would be so appropriate if Cinder fell. If she fell off the bridge and that was the end of Cinder. Because honestly, at this volume, I think Cinder has just about reached her end. And I don't know if the show is going to keep her on, but she's had her backstory, her motivations, everything's been explained about her. And like Watt said, you've just been a migraine from start to finish. Your motivations are kind of weak, and you're just self-destructing constantly. And I think it would be symbolic if Cinder fell and that was the end of her. And then the maiden powers go to Neo, perhaps. To Neo or to Emerald. That would be interesting. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But I think that would be interesting. Or one of our main crew is going to fall too. And that's going to be like, oof. Because he was very specific. He's like, y'all didn't specify. So I'm like, maybe that's the monkey's paw. We didn't clarify what happens if you fall. And so that's going to be a big point of contention. I don't know. I didn't think we were going to make it to Vacuo by the end of this. I'm curious. Tyrion and Mercury have been in Vacuo. So I'm like, what's going to happen when they come out on the other side? How's this going to work? What all had they been doing infiltrating Vacuo and messing with the headmaster? Like, how is this going down? I don't know, y'all. That part has me worried too. But Atlas is going to fall too. And I'm wondering, you know, Jacques was saying, are you going to take me with you? And Winter's like, well, I wouldn't have. But my sister convinced me to. And it's like, oh, just the knife twisting. Like, oh, your daughter that you hated is the one that's saving your life. And then I'm curious, is Ironmore going to fall with Atlas? I don't know. Or is Ironmore going to Vacuo? Things were very convenient this episode. I like the setup makes sense, and plot-wise, it does all make sense. They took a risk, it paid off. Whereas they've been taking other risks that have not. But something about this episode gives me a very ominous sense of foreboding. Like something seemed too easy about this episode. Like we conveniently had all this work out. So next episode's usually, the penultimate episode is usually when stuff goes down. So I'm like, what are we going to do, show? How are we going to do this? Because I'm getting vibes. That stuff's going to go down next episode that will not entirely be in our favor. Although if they all make it out and then Salem pops back up and her whale's gone and Vacuo's crashed and everybody's just gone, like, that'd be hilarious. And she's just like, what? I came back and you all are gone? You know, that would be pretty hilarious, but I don't know, y'all. I'm very curious to notice your thought. I like Ambrosius. I like the Relic of Creation. I like how they set everything up. It seems like it's all going too well. Like, I know we've had a lot of losses this volume, and I'm glad that Penny's become a real girl. and that does make me worried about Penny, because now her death will be finite. It'll be final. If she dies, there's no going back. She's going to be a real girl. And nobody can control her anymore, which is good, but it just has made her more mortal, which is, she's not the defender of Mantle that can fly around anymore. And I'm wondering how her semblance will work if she doesn't have those blades, or maybe she can manifest them using aura. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. Or if she can just rely on the maiden powers. I don't know. So, lots of things to think about for episode 13, but I'm really curious what you guys think about this episode and about Ambrosius and everything. So feel free to comment down below. Thank you all so much for watching. But yeah, next week we'll do volume 8, episode 13. I can't believe we're already here. So in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.